In yesterday's news, it was all about CZ Binance stepping down and the crypto market about to get nuked. However, today we are watching an entirely different thing evolving in the crypto market. So Bitcoin is almost there to erase yesterday's corrective movement. Ether has already done that. Ether is showing you that's a bullish engulfing candle which is going through the roof, meaning it kind of literally neglected the entire thing which happened with CZ Binance, and the market is now looking more and more into the actual fundamentals, into the reality out there in the world, not just in the US, the entire world. And the way we should be looking at all this is like the crypto market is taking off, whether we believe it or not. We're watching 100% for the day. LCX did that today. That's not a small movement. Believe me, that's a big pop. SI family was prepared for that. We were already saying, okay, watch this. More or less, this is an opportunity. And I posted it saying opportunity outlook for the 720 members in the SI family. Now, if you go into the market, instead of going down, the market is showing you certain assets is going up. They are rallying to the upside. What's common there? There is something common which you can take benefit of, which you can take advantage of in this market so that your portfolio will look better. Welcome to the Scientific Investor family, where the normal retail guys learn how to become the next top 10% of this world. As we've gone through all of this, we are literally watching how the market is evolving. And one of the key steps you have to understand is those assets which are running up, the market is showing you LCX, an exchange token. You're watching DYDX, a decentralized exchange stuff. You're watching Uniswap going up. So people are slowly moving back into these decentralized exchanges. So the market is literally saying, okay, we have some concern based on these centralized exchanges. So that's why you're watching the Sushi, the DYDX, all of them slowly going back up. The market is giving you a signal. So if you take your time to look through that side of the market, that segment, you may actually have something positive. But let's keep that there and take a moment to look through XRP. The price action is still inside this. We did not break down. We did not break to the upside. We talked about this previously, right? We gave you guys the thought process. It's been 3 days and we were at this support at that time, 3 days back. And this is one of the reasons why I was saying, okay, we may actually get a bounce at that territory. Now here we are watching that we are getting a slow bounce, which is fine because if you zoom out, this is what you're watching, the same exact pattern repeating itself over and over again. So if you look at the RSI too, it is also showing you something similar. So you have the price action, you have the RSI, you have the MACD, all of them suggesting, okay, more or less we are getting really close to something where the MACD is about to cross back to the upside here and you will see some movement to the upside. Whereas when you take a step back, you want to actually look at what the macro. And on a macro, this is what the price action is showing you. I mean, look at this. Last 3 days candle has been completely just, so it was literally undecisive. And right now you're watching that this particular candle is working on a hammer which just started little above from the moving average. So there is a possibility, right? So yeah, for sure, when you actually break this entire thing down, you will see something. Say you go on a 4-hour chart, you want to look at what this entire thing look like, and you can actually put the argument like, yeah, I think this did a 3-wave structure here, which was great. Now if you take that back into the macro scenario which we are talking, that means more or less this correction came after the 3 micro or nano wave structure. Now we are looking at a 3 microwave structure which is coming up. Wow, that's good. Meaning if you have the 1, the 2 and the 3 in which the third leg is bigger, we can extrapolate that higher. It will be bigger. That's something which we have seen in the market for some time, especially in crypto market. That surprises us. The wave 1, the wave 2, the wave 3. Usually wave 3 should be smaller, but now you're watching it's equal to the wave 2 or bigger in these short-term scenarios. So that means we have a probability where the market is suggesting you that I can run higher for this Christmas. If that's coming true, it would look a lot more different than where we are right now. Because the price action, if you now remove all this and just clear the chart, understand the scenario that this is where we are. If we are bouncing off that particular level, what does that actually mean? Because you're right now watching something similar in XRP and Ether. Say Ether for that has broken to the upside. After what? That's important. It was actually showing you a negative sign on the daily. So if you remove all this and look at candles without today's candle, it looked like this, right? You're getting rejected. It was a hammer at the top. You got an engulfing candle to the downside. It's bearish. But what happened? You went back up. Now come back here, looking at the XRP. On a weekly, you're watching something similar here. The price is playing out in the exact same way, where if you zoom in, this is what you can actually observe. So the fact that the market is showing you that it is bouncing off the moving average, as well as there is a possibility of this candle or the next one moving back up, kind of validates your impulsive waves analysis. That gives you more confidence in the market. Now, yes, again, these are like the short-term moves which we are talking about. The long-term scenario has not changed yet. If you think it's changed, then the fundamentals of this asset should change. But it did not. This is where you are. You broke this, you're retesting this, you're making that level as a support so that you can grind higher. So you go into the market, ask the market itself. Don't take my word for that. Say, for example, you go here, you're just picking up the return rates. You're going to look at which of these assets performed the best in last quarter or this quarter. And you're looking at that and asking the question like, okay, some of these are 300% up, some of these are 250% up. It's not small tokens we're talking about. It's the large cap coins. So when you look at them on a yearly, now you're watching some of them are 10x, some of them are 5x, some of them are 6x, 8x. They're running up. There is a trend formation in this market. If you can actually use that to your advantage, you can kill it in this market because you have a macro trend and you have a micro trend. How can you use that? That is what you should keep in your mind, whether it's XRP, whether it's any different asset. When you see there is a trend line formation, use that trend line for your advantage. This, for me, is a trend line, a micro, macro, long-term, whatever you call it, does look like a long-term trend line. Why is this important? Because when you go back in history and look at this and say, whoa, I'm great. That's it. I mean, if you hold XRP, that's exactly what you should be saying. You just got this structure, which is great, which is like the bullish move. And then you came back down below this, consolidated there. And that's exactly what you're doing here. Now you want to go back up about this. So the basic point here is the market does something. Now, we have been talking about this in the one-on-one session all the way from 2020, 2021. With people in different assets, giving them the idea of what the market is doing. Remember, you will have the market which is going up for sure. But in between, it will do this. It will do this. Now, if you get to buy an asset here, you can ride it till this point. When it slows down, get out. It's okay. You don't have to wait through this to get here. But if you are that guy who bought in here and you want to sell somewhat here, then yeah, you have to go through this and reach somewhat here and sell it off. Yes, you need more time and patience to reach here. But if you're like, I don't have much time, then more or less you're exiting the market cycle here. Now take that entire idea into XRP. What does it actually show you? The market actually went up here. The market went below this, then it popped. Now we are coming back down and trying to go back above. So when it goes back above, what happens? Price explosion. Now, when I say price explosion, yes, I'm not obviously talking about a $10,000 XRP. We are not looking for that. We are looking for something logical, right? We have food 2 times at least a day. So we have some logic. Now, if we put that and say, okay, there is a 700x possibility, remember the bottom is 0.3. So that's still a big number. That's a monumental number. But how, now this is a pattern and a wave structure target. So how long it's going to take for that to materialize, no one knows. That's something really important to keep in mind. So if we put that argument, yeah, okay. If someone says, I'm looking at a $150 to $200 XRP, I would say, okay, he has something from history, from price action, from wave analysis, from trend analysis. That guy is not nuts. I would agree with him on a lot of different fronts because we are taking the data all the way back from here and trying to extrapolate it. Now, if you are conservative, you would actually put the argument and say, okay, I'm happy with the $14, $15 XRP, right? If you are like, okay, I'm a little bit optimistic, I'm looking at the exact resistance here, which is still conservative on the macro, you would actually open up and say, okay, I'm happy with around $30 to $40. Now, if you're optimistic about this asset and willing to hold this asset for a long term, yeah, you will put the argument of this is going nuts. But again, we'll stay relevant in the market. We want to see what's possible in this horizon. If you are here for next 20 years, that's a different story. But quantum computers may squash you. You don't want to be in crypto like that. You want to know which of these assets are going to stay relevant in next 5 years and buy them and hold them if you are willing to do that. But if you are like, okay, I'm looking at this market cycle, I want to take profits out, then more or less you're not looking at those monumental numbers. You're looking at $20 to $30 in between for wave 2. Then there will be a huge correction which you can take benefit of. If you take the profits as you go up, if you want to buy back, you can. And when you look at these 10, 15, 20x run up in the market, that's exactly what XRP also does. Say, all of these run up which you are watching was like a 10x, then a macro correction, another 12, 13, 14x, another correction. So if you are taking one leg by one leg, you can skim the profits. We've done that in the past. We're doing that as of now in many different assets in the market, right? And I'm sharing all of that in the SI family here. 720 members are taking benefit of that. And if you want to take that as an advantage for you in this market cycle, or if you want to go through a one-on-one session with me based on your portfolio and get my thoughts on it, what assets are missing in your portfolio, what assets look red flag in your portfolio, you can use this link, which is in the description below in YouTube. And if you're in Twitter, that's in the bio. So guys, if you receive value for your time, smash that like button for me. I appreciate that a lot. I will meet you guys on the next video. Bye for now.